Hi and welcome to this session. This is a full body balance and coordination session today, and I'm joined by a load of lovely participants on my live stream today as well. I've got Sean, I've got Harriet, I've got Jane, and I've got Sarah. So hi and welcome to you as we're going along. If you want to get involved in this live stream, then just drop me a DM and I will let you know how you can get involved. So this is a balance and coordination session. This is going to really help you out. It's going to develop core strength. That's going to be the main thing that it does, but it also helps to use that part of your brain that you may not be using all the time when you're thinking about moving through life. It's really, really functional, and it's going to help you out loads in your day-to-day life. So let's get going. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to head down to the mat. Now, if you don't use the mat, don't worry. I'm going to show you an alteration for that in just a sec. But we're going to head down to the mat today. We're going to come into an all-fours position, and we're going to push out the opposite arm and leg, stretch and hold, and come back into tabletop. And again to the other side and back into tabletop. So off you go there, and if you are a stander, if you don't come down to the mat, you can do the same thing. You can hold onto your wall, and you can bring out and come back in, and then again out and come back in. Okay, so working through whichever level that you're on to make sure that we can get a nice stretch and take it nice and slow. So we want to take all the momentum out, because often the momentum, the speed will cover up the lack of balance and coordination. So we're really going to slow everything down today. Good. So we're just starting this off as a warm-up. No equipment at all needed for this workout, just your body. Good. And rest. Okay, turning over onto our backs then. We're going to get onto the mat, and we're going to do a glute bridge march. So down onto the mat, lying back down. So hopefully everybody can lie down. All you're going to do is you're going to raise your glutes up, so push your glutes up into the air, squeeze and hold, and you're going to march and march. Okay, you can do this from standing if you want to. You can just march on through if you prefer, but you're going to get more benefit if you can do this from lying down. So march and march, driving that knee in towards your chest, keeping the hips up nice and high. So we're just turning on all the muscles we're going to need today. There's going to be a lot of core muscles being used, a lot of glute muscles being used as well. Okay, they are the biggest muscles in our body. They're big stabilizing muscles. So they're going to stabilize the hips, and we're going to be doing a lot of one-legged stuff. All standing, so you can look forward to that. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Great job. Okay, we're going to go back, and we're going to just do those bird dogs one more time. Just a few more seconds, just to make sure that core is switched on nice and tight. So whether you're standing or on your all fours, let's just go back through that movement. You can go a little quicker if you want to, but hold in. Keep the neck nice and neutral. And we're just going to stay here for another 15 seconds or so. Good. Then we're going to come up to our feet. Now you might want to hold on to the back of a chair, a wall, a window, whatever you want to do as we're going through this session, whatever's going to give you confidence and rest up to your feet. So a lot of balance and coordination work does come down to confidence. So please just do what you need to do. You don't have to just smash it out of the park first time round. Okay, I'm going to come up, I'm going to stand on one leg. That's the first thing we're going to do. We're just going to hold in, stand on one leg. This is the first thing I want you to do. So holding into the core muscles. If you are struggling with this already, push those toes into the floor. Try and make a triangle with your foot. Okay, now we've been holding for around 10 seconds. I want you just to kick, kick, and kick. Good. Keep it going. You probably can't hear. My knee is making a strange little crunching noise now. That's what happens when you get over the age of 35. Everything starts crunching and creaking. Keep going. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. So give yourself a little wiggle out. We're going to go to the other side. You're going to take 20 seconds off, and we're going to go to the other side. So again, we're just going to hold for 10 seconds. Make sure you're secure in that balance and coordination, and then we'll go with the kick again. All the exercises today we're going to work through 40 seconds of work with 20 seconds of rest. Ready? Let's go. So you may have chosen your dominant side to start with. So you might find that this side is a little more wobbly than the other side, or vice versa, and kick. Good. Well done. So really focusing on holding into those tummy muscles. Okay, that's where you're actually generating a lot of your balance from. Kick, kick. So you might start to feel it into the legs now. If you need to hold on to something, then do. Keep going. Well done. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, we're going to come away from those legs just for a second. We're going to work through the side muscles here, the obliques. So they move in a diagonal direction, so we have to work them in a diagonal direction. Easy to say. So you're going to bring your arm out to the side, you're going to crunch in, and then pull out to the side again. Ready? Let's go. So crunch, crunch. So I'm just touching with my tippy toe down onto the mat here. If you want, you can do it completely freestanding. Okay, much harder, working on that balance and coordination, but you are still working on a lot of balance and coordination if you're using your tiptoe as well. Okay, so use as much or as little of your foot as you want to as you're crunching across. So making sure you've got a nice diagonal line coming across. Well done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Take your rest. 20 seconds rest, and we're going to switch to the other side. So we're going to work through a program of exercises today, and then we're going to go back through again one more time. We're going to take off the beginning ones, we're going to add some at the end just to make it a bit more interesting and exciting. Ready to go? 2, 1, let's go. So crunch it in. Good. So start to think about the muscles that are working. The more you actively turn them on, the more likely they're going to work really hard for you, okay? Don't just let them do what they want to do. Turn them on actively, think about them, grip them, teach them how to work. Good. And then they will start to do it automatically. 10 seconds here. Well done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and take your rest. 20 seconds. Get a drink if you need to get a drink. Take off a layer. Make any alterations that you need to make. We're going to go for a standing glute kickback. So you might want to hold onto the back of a chair, onto a wall. We're just really try and keep your upper body really strong and straight as we're going to kick back with that heel. So leg is nice and straight. We're going to kick back with that heel. So with me now, let's go. Now, you can touch your working leg down onto the mat or not. Up to you. But the struggle with this one is keeping the upper body really straight. Everybody on the screen is doing amazing. Well done, ladies. Keep going. So hold in tight to those tummy muscles. You can feel them working as you pull that leg back. Good. And if you're not touching that foot down, then the toes on your other foot might be jiggling about all over the place, trying to make the adaptations. And rest. Good. 20 seconds rest. We're going to go to the other side. So really working on a lot of muscles here. The deep stabilizing core muscles, which are in your back, as well as in the abs in your front, through into the glutes, down into the legs. Ready to go again, and let's go. So drive with the heel. Drive, drive. Upright, strong and straight. Good. Well done. If you feel that you need to hold on to something, then hold on. That's okay. You're still going to be working the same muscles. Good. Push that leg back, push that heel back. Well done. 10 seconds here. Push. Push. Well done. Check yourself. Make sure you're strong and straight in the torso. 2, 1. Take your rest. You're doing so well. You are doing so well so far. These exercises are tricky. They require quite a lot of brain power. A bit of a different workout to what we're used to doing. So we're going to come to the sides because it's really, really important to work in 360 degrees. So we're going to come down to the side, back up to the middle, down to the side. So join with me when you're ready. down and up, down and up. So really pushing my bottom back. And if you want to, you can turn up the toes on the supporting leg. You're going to get a little bit more of a calf and inner thigh pull there, if that's what you fancy. Good. We're going to be going back to our one leg stand in a minute with a little bit of a difference. So you can do these exercises at whatever level you like. So if we're going up in difficulty and it's a bit too tough, just bring it back a level. 2, 1, and take your rest. So we're going to go back to that one leg stand. Okay, so it's going to look like this. Just take your rest while I'm showing you. We're going to come back to that one leg stand, and what we're going to do is I'm just going to sit down. Okay, so I'm going to sit down into a single leg squat. So I'm going to show you from the side what that's going to look like. So my knee is up, and then I'm going to sit down. So I'm pushing my glutes back, and I'm sitting down into that leg. Okay, we're going to stick on one side. We're not going to do this for 40 seconds. It's a really tough exercise. We're going to do it for just over 20 seconds. Okay, so get yourself ready. 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's go. So knee up, sit down, come back up. Now, if you can do this holding onto something, then that's great. If you're finding this really tough, because it is tough, then you can just do your single leg stand, or you can just do a tiny little bob. Okay, just do what you can. Work through the range that you've got. 2, 1, take your rest. Good job. 20 seconds off, and we're going to go back onto the other side. Okay, tough little exercise. We're going to see this exercise again when we come back round, and we're going to do it for a little bit longer. So this is just a little entry level here. So just work hard, feel good. 2, 1, let's go. So the other knee up, down and up. Good. Down and up. All about the control. Nice and slow. Well done. Good. If you feel yourself wobbling around, just take a minute at the top, stabilize, and go again. 2, 1. Good work. Well done, everybody. That's a tough exercise. So that's our single leg squat. Really working on the balance, working into the glutes as well, but really getting into that core. We're going to go for a crossbody diagonal here, but we're going to add a squat into the middle. If you don't want to add your squat, you don't have to add a squat. So we're going to come to the side, squat down, to the side, squat down. Okay, we're going to get ourselves ready to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So turn that heel down, turn that heel down. Good. So you can speed this up if you want to make it as dynamic as you want to make it. If you want to get that heart rate up, then do that. Otherwise, slow and deliberate. You can't go wrong. If you want to keep the squat out, you can keep the squat out. Good. 12 seconds. 10 seconds. Stay with me now. Good job. 3, 2, 1, and take your rest. We're going to go back into some single leg stuff now. Whew. Hope you're feeling good. Hope everything is starting to feel like it's all switched on and ready for the second round. We're going to do a staggered crunch. So I'm going to bring one leg back, toes facing forwards, arms up. Going to crunch in that knee. I'm going to bring it back. Crunch and back. Ready? Let's go. So crunch and crunch. Now, if you find this tough, because this is tough, we're adding the extra movement in here now, but don't go any faster than this. If you're finding this tough, grab the back of a chair or a wall, and you can do exactly the same, just with the leg, and keep the hands as a fixed point. Totally up to you. So crunch and crunch. Crunch it in, working those abs, but also working the brain. 2, 1, take your rest. We're going to switch sides. You can stay where you are. I'm just going to move around for the old camera angle. So make any adaptations you need to make. Move anything out the way if any creatures have crept into your workspace. You know, dogs, cats, children, husbands, whatever. Keep going, wives. Keep going. Crunch it in. Crunch it in. Good. Here we are. So making sure that you are balanced. That is the name of the game. Nice and slow. Do not want to go speeding off and falling over. Keep it going. 15 seconds here. So we're working on balance and coordination. You need that for life. It's going to help you out. Less likely to fall over. Less likely to trip. Okay, so it's really going to help you out in life. 2, 1, rest. It's what we call functional movement, functional exercising. We're going to drop down and do some ice skaters before we go back up to the beginning, and we're going to go through again. And we're going to start with our one-legged stand again. So before we get there, we're going to do these ice skaters. Leg comes behind, hand drops down in front, and let's go. So if you want to add a little bit of extra pop here, you can jump across. Otherwise, standing across, touching that toe. Good. Keep going. Push across. Well done. Think about the muscles that are working, core muscles, leg muscles. Well done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your rest. Well done. Okay. So you should be feeling warm, loose, limber, loving life, all that good stuff. We're going to go back to the exercise where we're standing on one leg and we're going to kick forwards, okay? So get yourself ready. 2, 1, leg comes up and kick. Now if you need a little bit of extra time to stabilize, we took 10 seconds last time, then take that time. If not, join straight in with me. Should be that part of your brain now should know exactly what's going on today. It should know. We're all about the balance and the coordination. Good. Kicking out then. Keep going. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your rest. Well done. Okay, we're going to take our 20 seconds. We're going to go on to the other side. So really, really important balance and coordination. Can't overstate how important it is just to weave it into your weekly routines. Okay, for us women as well, we do find that at certain times in the month, ready, raise the other knee. At certain times in the month, we're less coordinated. Okay, so this can really, really help with those moments of feeling just a little bit uncoordinated and a bit disjointed. Good. So making sure those muscles are nice and strong can really help you out, gives you a bit of an edge, a bit of an advantage. We all know your body likes to throw a little curveball every now and again. 10 seconds. Good. Keep going then. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your rest. Ooh. Oh, that feels very nice. In a thigh burn kind of way. We're going to go back to that standing oblique crunch now. So over to the side. Now remember, you can do it with your foot off the floor the whole time. You can keep your tippy toes on the floor. You can put more of your foot on the floor. Totally up to you. I don't mind which one you go for. Do what's best for you. Let's go. Good. So the beauty of these workouts, you work to your own level. There is zero judgment. It is all about you and what you can do. Crunch it in. The only person you need to be is yourself. And to be completely honest with you, you are just you. So just do what you can do. There's no point in having the competition. Just work hard. Good. Keep it going. Crunch it in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your rest. We're going to go to the other side. So the legs are working hard today. The hips, all of the muscles around the front of the hips, and our hip flexors as well, deep inside there, deep stabilizing muscles. If at any point you feel it's too much, then please do take a rest. Take a breather, okay? You don't have to do absolutely everything. Let's go. There's no have-tos. in these workouts. Okay, just work through your level. Crunch it in. Good. Well done. Keep it going. Next exercise coming up is that standing glute kickback, where we're going to try and keep your upper body as strong and straight as possible. It's a challenge. It's a real challenge, that exercise, because as soon as you start to get tired, your body hunches over. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your rest. Good job, everybody. Well done, ladies on the screen. You are doing really, really well today. Every time. You do well every week, obviously. Today especially. It's a tough session. So we're going to do our glute kickback. So just a quick reminder, nice and strong and straight. Heel comes back, pulling right into those glutes. You ready? Let's go. So push back with the heel. Feel the difference if you push with the heel. The difference it makes is all the way up into the glute. If you just sort of let your leg go back, it's just like global leg. We want to target into those glutes. Strong and straight. You feel those tummy muscles each time you pull that leg back. Well done. Good. Just over 10 seconds then. If you feel a little bit wobbly, just take a second to stabilize. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your rest. Well done. 20 seconds. 20 seconds before we're going to swap sides. Whew, so not much jumping about today. Not much conventional cardio, but think about the benefits of strength, okay? We often think, 2, 1, let's go. We often think that in order to be better at burning fat, we need to do loads and loads of cardio. Well, we do need to do cardio. Cardio is super important, but so is strength. It's going to build up the muscles, which means that you can actually use the fat better. So you can utilize it. Your metabolism increases. Your body is more primed. Okay, so you can use the energy that comes into better effect. So strength work is super important if you're on a weight loss journey or a fat loss journey, as well as just being strong for life. So there you go. Little snippet for you. 2, 1, take your rest. I don't know about you, my legs are feeling worked right now. They are definitely feeling worked. They're not feeling left out at all. We're going to go for our lateral lunge. Okay, so coming into the center, we're going to come out to the side. 3, 2, 1, pushing out, back in, out, back in. Good, so really pushing my bottom back and keep my back nice and straight. I just like to have my hands in front when I do this, so I don't like lean down too much and round my back. So that's why I always have my hands up in front. It just helps to keep those shoulders back. I know that's one of my areas of weakness, so I try and think about doing that. So if you have an area, then think about what that area is. You can always let me know, you can always ask. Always happy to advise. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and take your rest. Okay, we're going to go back for that single leg stand to the single leg squat, okay? So we did 20 seconds of this last time. We're going to go for the 40 seconds, but for the first 10 seconds, I just want you to stabilize. Then we're going to go 30 seconds of the squats. So let's come up to standing and hold in now with me. So we're going to hold for 10 seconds here. So just really working on stabilizing, okay? Really nail that balance. And now we're going to go. So down and back up. Little wobble there. Down and up. Good. So I'm just pushing my bottom back as if I was sitting onto a chair. Okay, that's all I'm doing. Remember, if this is tough, too tough, if it's painful, if it just feels like it's not happening for you, then you can either just do a little bob or you can just continue with the stand. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and take your rest. Concentration is really key on these kinds of exercises. Okay, just over 15 seconds in and we're gonna go on the other side. So we're gonna do exactly the same again. We're gonna work 10 seconds on honing that balance, and then we're gonna add the movement into it if you're ready to do that. 2, 1, up. Good, so hold with me. Cheeky extra couple of seconds there. So let's hold it in. Good. Hold, hold, hold. And let's go. Down and up. So no need to speed through. If anything, you want to keep it nice and slow. Again, I've got my hands up. Just really think that helps me balance. It's my personal preference. You can do whatever you like. Good. Well done, everybody. Everybody is doing so amazing at this. Good. It's really tough exercise. Give yourself a big pat on the back. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Woohoo! Yes. Okay. All right. I know we're working today. I feel we're really working today. We're going to go cross-body with that little squat. If you don't want to add the squat, don't add the squat. Do what's right for you. I say that all the time because it's true. 3, 2, 1. So across, down, across, down. So big movements, both arms across, down, like you're reaching something off the shelf, bringing it in, reaching it, bringing it in. See where these exercises now start to mimic everyday movements. Get strong by doing everyday things. If you can switch your muscles on, functional fitness is where it is at. Good. 10 seconds. Well done. We are coming towards the end of this now. You are doing so well. 2, 1, take your rest. 20 seconds. We've got the staggered crunch next. So one side, then the other. If you need to hold on to the back of the chair, a window, a wall, whatever, then do. Okay, so really crunching in, thinking about those muscles into the core, but also into the legs as well. Little squat down, leg comes back, arms come up, and let's go. Good. Crunch it in, pull it out. Keep the chin up, shoulders relaxed. Well done. So if you're not sure what's happening with your head and neck alignment, try and keep your ears in line with shoulders. That's really going to help you out. Knowing that your neck is nice and aligned, nice and neutrally. If you suffer with any neck pain, then have a think about that. It's always the first port of call. Good. 3, 2, 1. We're going to switch sides. We're going to switch sides. You've got 20 seconds rest. Getting quite warm now. Hope you are too. Hope it's not just me on my own. You are too, right? You're all getting... They are. They're definitely getting warm as well. Ready to go. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Into position and crunch. Good. So really reaching up now. Reaching up, crunching in. Take your time to the reach and the crunch. Good. Keep those toes facing forwards. You don't need to look at them, just know that they're facing forwards. Completely in tune with what your body's doing. Good. Keep going. Working well. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your rest. Amazing work. Ice skaters next. Then we've got 2 new exercises just to add in at the end. Okay, so just keep you on your toes. We don't want that brain to think it knows exactly what's coming. Okay, we want to make sure it's challenged. So get ready for your ice skaters. Dropping down, leg comes behind, and let's go. Across and across. If you want to add a jump to make this more cardio, then you can. If you are tired, like really tired, you can do a standing ice skater right now. It's going to work all the same muscles. It's just going to give you a little bit of rest, a little reprieve. Everybody on the screen is working to the max. So hard. So good. Well done, everybody. Keep going. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your rest. Okay, so just when you thought you knew everything that we're doing, we're just going to do something a little different. We're going to step to the side and we're going to step back and then the side and then back, okay? So I'm going to show you again. So the side, back, okay? Note where the arms are going. Get ready to challenge your coordination. So let's go. So side, back, swap sides, side, back, side, back, side, back. Good. Well done. Keep going. So we're really throwing everything at this coordination now. So just giving you a little challenge. Good. So the last 2 exercises, they're meant to be tougher. Okay, not necessarily physically harder, but just really challenging. One more round here. Good, and rest, well done. The last exercise we do before we start our cool down is, again, we're gonna come up into that one leg stand, and we're gonna have fingertips on temples, and we're gonna twist over the bent knee, okay? Then we're gonna switch sides, we're gonna twist over the other knee. This one is tough, okay? If you need to hold on to something, then hold on to something with one hand and then just twist over, okay? I really want you to think about everything that we've been doing in this session for this exercise, because this is the most difficult exercise apart from the single leg squat that we've done yet. So, not to warn you off, it's gonna be great, you're gonna be great. So let's get ourselves ready. Up, fingertips onto temples, shoulders back, chin up, nice and strong and straight. Knee comes up and over, back to stand. Knee comes up, over, back to stand. Good. Up, over, stand. Well done. Good job. Stabilize. Back to stand. So make sure that you are taking time to twist. If you go through this too fast, you won't get the benefit, okay? It's not just that it will be a bit easier, because it will be a bit easier, but it won't be doing you as good. Keep going then. Well done. Up, across. You should be really proud of yourselves today. You've done some really, really good work. Back down. A couple more seconds then. Let's do one more on each side. Good. And rest. So that is the session done. Stick with me for a couple more exercises. We're just going to do a little quick cool down. Okay, if you really need to rush off, then thank you so much for joining. Otherwise, back down to the mat for our bird dog. It's the first exercise that we started with. So if you made any adaptations to that at the beginning stage, then just do the same again here. Otherwise, into an all fours position, and we're just going to reach out, stretch and hold, couple of seconds, come back in, and opposite again. So trying to draw a straight line from my heel to my fingertips, coming back in. Good. Still thinking about those muscles. We're cooling down. Just want you to think about what's working here. Well done. I'm so pleased you guys joined me today. I really hope you got loads of benefit out of doing this workout with me. Please do subscribe to the channel, like and comment. Let me know what you want to see. I always like to do sessions that I know you're going to like, so just let me know what you want to see and I'll write some programs around that. 2, 1, and rest. Now onto your back for the final exercise of the session. Lying onto your back then, we're going to put our fingertips up into the air, knees are bent, feet are nice and flat, and I'm going to draw out my opposite arm and leg back to the center. Opposite arm and leg back to the center. If it's tough doing it with a straight leg, you can keep that knee bent. Okay, these are not easy exercises, even though they're the cool down, so you just work through your level on every single exercise. Change it, adapt it. Okay, so either a bent knee or a straight one. Good. So by now, hopefully your heart rate's come down, your breathing has come back to a just above a resting level, and you are feeling good. You're feeling relaxed and calm, stress-free, and ready to take on the day. I really hope you've enjoyed this session. You can rest or stretch for as long as you like. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.